New fallout from the hostile Oval Office meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelenskyy. Democrats disturbed over the state of U.S. and Ukraine relations. Republicans, on the other hand, largely praising Trump's tough rhetoric.
However, New York Republican Congressman Mike Lawler, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, was not so enthused by what he saw. Congressman Lawler writing, "Sadly, the only winner of today is Vladimir Putin." And the congressman joins us here today. Thank you so much for being with us. So I'm curious, when you watched this, and this played out very publicly, what was your reaction?
Well, diplomacy is often very difficult, and a lot of times it is contentious, and you do have disagreement, which is why it's behind closed doors, because you want to hash out those disagreements. And so I thought this was really unfortunate and a missed opportunity for both the United States and Ukraine. There is a lot at stake here. Vladimir Putin is a vile dictator and thug. The unholy alliance between Russia, China, and Iran seeks to undermine and destabilize the United States, Europe, Israel, and the free world. And so getting this deal done to strengthen the relationship between Ukraine and the United States economically is paramount for security. And so I just think, obviously, that the conversation devolved. I think what President Trump is trying to do in ending this war is right. The longer this continues, frankly, the worse it is for Ukraine. They are in a precarious position, despite us supporting them over these last 3 years. And so getting this conflict to an end is paramount. Strengthening that economic relationship is important. And with it will come security guarantees. And I think, it seemed at points they were just kind of talking past each other, but we got to get this back on track.
In the aftermath of that Oval Office meeting, there have been calls for Zelenskyy to resign. What is your response to that?
I don't support that. That, first of all, is up to the Ukrainian people and President Zelenskyy. Look, he's trying to defend his country against a hostile takeover by Vladimir Putin. And, obviously, this is emotional. There is understandable frustration and angst on all sides here. But we got to just get this back on track.
What would the global repercussions of the U.S. ending support for Ukraine look like?
Well, I think if the U.S. ended our support, Ukraine would fall. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it would happen, and it would happen pretty quickly. And the consequences of that would be devastating in Eastern Europe. My wife is from Moldova. Her family lives on the Ukraine border. Moldova doesn't have the ability to defend themselves, and so you would see Putin aggressively pursue other former Soviet satellite states. Poland would be in jeopardy. The consequences would be dire. So it's imperative for cooler heads to prevail here and get everybody back to the negotiating table. What the president is offering President Zelenskyy economically is imperative. When this conflict is over, much like in the aftermath of World War II, you're going to need hundreds of billions of dollars to rebuild. And so this economic agreement helps lay the foundation for that. And that really, to me, is why getting this done is so imperative.
President Trump is set to address a joint session of Congress tomorrow. What are you hoping to hear from him?
Look, we continue to have significant challenges facing our country economically. Obviously, the cost of living is still persistently high. We need to obviously focus our efforts, and I know the president has been focused on that in large measure, reducing the cost of government, which helps bring down inflation and the cost of goods and services, increasing domestic production of energy, securing our border crossings for the month of February. We're down to 8,000, just over 8,000. During Joe Biden's administration, 120, 130, 140,000 border crossings in the month of February. So the work that the administration is doing to secure our border is already paying dividends. I'm sure the president will highlight that. And of course, ending these conflicts around the globe and reasserting America's role in the world. So there's a lot at stake, and certainly looking forward to hearing what the president has to say tomorrow.
All right, Congressman Mike Lawler, Republican from New York, thank you for joining us here in studio, making the commute in over the Hudson River. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right.